Hey guys, it's Micah for Sapulpa Times.
And Lucy with the City of Sapulpa.
And welcome back. It is a bright Monday morning after a decidedly wet weekend. We had a lot of rain over the
It was
weekend.
so much.
A lot, yes, so much. Did you see the pictures that we posted of downtown
Yes.
that Joe sent us?
Yes.
Yeah, that was, man, I think that was obviously, that was a deeper Gulf of Dewey that time than what we had the first time.
It was, but it went quick.
Yeah, it did. Like it went away quick. Like
Yes.
later that day when we were driving by, I was like, well, now it's gone.
Well, it was gone on the way to church.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So it was like super early.
What time did you go to church though? Because I went by at like, it was still raining hard at 11:30 when we went to church.
So I go to church at 9.
Okay.
Well, I go to church at 10. And so when I passed it, it was gone. But then it started raining hard again.
Uh-huh.
So it filled back up a little bit. But when I came back through town at noon, there was no water on Dewey again.
Yeah. So basically, like the ground underneath that road is really good at like just soaking the water right up.
Yeah. I mean, it fills up.
Yep.
Pretty deep, but then it does dissipate pretty quick.
Yes. And let's address that while we're talking about it, because some folks got in on the comments of those photos and were saying, hey, what is the deal with all the water collecting? Is it running it into businesses? Asking about storm drains and stuff. You could speak to this better than I could. So far, we haven't heard of any businesses in the area being flooded or anything like that. So, and this is actually a good thing for that, because now that the street is tore up, I mean, it sits like a good 6 inches or more underneath the entrance of these businesses and stuff. So businesses are less likely to be flooding now than they would have before this project started.
Right.
Now the storm drains, a lot of people wonder about that. Like, what the heck? Are the storm drains getting overwhelmed? No, they're actually all blocked off right now. Mm-hmm. And it's exactly this reason that they blocked them off. And TWX came in and blocked them off and did like kind of cool. Like they put a covering over it, but then they also like sandbagged them. Mm-hmm. So when we get a heavy rain, which they knew we would, and we did, and we have, wouldn't get filled up with mud and debris and concrete stuff, and then basically undo all the work that they're doing right now. So so it's going to stay that way probably until this project is complete, I would think. At least some of the storm drains will probably get uncovered after they open up portions of the street. Yeah, I would imagine, right?
Right, but they're putting new pipes in for the storm drain. So they had to block them off so that all that stuff's not running, because it would just, I don't actually know where it would go because the storm drains are kind of unhooked.
Yeah, they would just sit there, I guess.
Yeah, but the storm drains are a little bit higher than where they've dug down. So that kind of contributes to that a little bit, other than them being blocked off. But nobody is being flooded from the Dewey side of this water standing. So if it was to happen, like, reach out, let us know. We'll see what we can do. If we're out there like scooping water, then I guess we would be out there scooping water.
If we have to.
If we have to, we will definitely do it. But the water, like I said earlier, is coming in because we're getting such heavy rain, but then it's going away pretty quickly.
Yep. And I'm just saying, mostly just to kind of let you guys know, this is going to continue to happen. Yes. I mean, every time we have a hard rain, it's going to happen. And so we get a lot of folks on there talking about what a mess it looks like and stuff. I mean, I don't know what you expect. That's what a construction site looks like on a good April rain. Yeah. And so every time we put this stuff out, it's always just kind of a good chance to look at how uneducated some of our folks are about this project still. They think that the city is tearing our street up on purpose, and that the city's running the entire town down or something, ruining the town. And quick reminder, guys, this is a state project. It's not a city project. It's a state contractor. It's a state inspector even. So Sapulpa gets to benefit greatly, and it is part of a GEO bond that we all voted on back in 2020, but it's largely out of Sapulpa's hands, and for the most part, I would say, right? But of course, you guys have to deal with all the backlash that comes as a result of this. So anyway, we'll continue to keep you guys in the loop on any kind of developments or anything that happen on that, one of which we are going to be talking about just a little bit later. But before we got into that, we've got some kind of national and then some regional news that I wanted to update you guys on. Just found out this morning that Pope Francis passed away. He was 88. And if you've been watching the news, he was in poor health and had been for a while. So I don't think anybody is really shocked by the news, but it's always kind of a big event when a pope passes away. And so, yeah, he died. He was 88 and died this morning. So this morning in Rome, so I don't know how the time change works here. Like, would that have still been Easter Sunday for us? I don't know. It was 7:30 in the morning local time is what they said. So I don't know.
I don't know the difference in time.
Yeah,
so
me neither. But that would be pretty amazing. I was telling Lucy a second ago that he decided not to steal Jesus' thunder on Easter. He decided to pass away a day after.
Next day.
But so you'll probably be hearing a lot about that over the next day or so. And then zooming in a little more regionally here, we are praying for the family in Leonard, which is just south of Bixby. You may have already heard about this, but there was a car that was swept away into a creek due to the high flooding that happened yesterday. And 2 people from that family, I think a woman and a daughter, are still missing. And I know that they have searches underway. I don't know at this point if it's become more of a recovery effort. But anyway, we're definitely praying and thinking about the families involved there. And, I've got family that lives out that way. So my first instinct was to check on them and make sure everybody was okay. So anyway, if you know them, we're sorry. It's a devastating situation you guys are going through. So far as we know, nothing like that has actually hit Sapulpa proper. We did have a lot of flooding though.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah. Some of the neighborhoods out on South Hickory were pretty flooded. I was going to say, like, if you are interested in seeing like what would happen to Dewey if we didn't get all these storm drains changed, if you go to South Hickory, that's a great visual of what would be happening in downtown. The water was like up halfway to through my tires. It was very deep yesterday. So,
wow. And this is where they have the signs that say "Turn around, don't drown," right? Like that creek over there.
Yeah, there is that creek. No, this was through the neighborhoods.
And
so just a little bit of a different area. But yeah, turn around if the water is rising. I will say I saw a lot of those comments this morning when I was reading updates on the family in Bixby Leonard area. And so one of the things that I learned is like they were on their own property. And so their car was washed away on their own.
Oh, really?
Their own property.
They were just trying to get out of their own yard or whatever, huh? Man.
Out or in, I'm not sure. But they're over there by the creek and the river and things like that. So it was actually their property, and they had 51 different individuals out there looking and searching. And
yeah, so I did see that. It was a good amount of people that showed up to help. It would really be great if it turned out to be a good ending to this story. But you guys who have been through that before, the longer it goes, then kind of the worse the news is going to be. So we're definitely praying for that family. Zooming back in, let's talk about, we had an extremely wet weekend for sure. But it was still good as far as Easter egg hunts. I was really worried and I don't know, I think there were probably a lot of the Easter events that were supposed to happen on Saturday that ended up getting canceled. I know that one that did not was the one at Salvation Army, which you guys went to, right?
Yes. So we did actually go to Salvation Army, and they adapted to the weather so well. Yeah. They did move the Easter egg hunt inside. And I did not know how many people were there. I knew it was very crowded and very packed, but Micah told me this morning that there was over 400 people in Salvation Army. That's a lot of people, which thinking about it and like being there, yeah, there was definitely like that number is not.
That doesn't seem out of the realm of
possibility. No, it does not sound outrageous. They had a room for coloring. Every chair was taken. The kids were like multiple deep and completely wrapped around the gym to go get the eggs. They dumped them out in buckets all over the gym floor. I think every single kid there was able to fill their bucket.
That's what she told me, yeah.
And they had some gold eggs that they threw out. And if you got a gold egg, then it like correlated with a prize.
Oh, okay.
And so that was really cool. Hudson was so determined to get a gold egg. So they started like throwing him out and he's like, I'm getting that egg. And I'm like, okay, well, don't like miss all the other eggs because you just want a gold egg. But I wasn't even thinking about how many eggs were on the gym floor. So he went and got the gold egg and then still filled his bucket. Like that's how many eggs they had.
What did he get with the gold egg?
His gold egg actually came with a cookie, a pound cookie.
Oh, dang.
So it was huge. Huge. And it had sprinkles and it was chocolate.
Did he eat it all?
He hasn't eaten it all yet.
Okay.
Because
that's good.
That's too much. But some of the prizes were like huge baskets of like Easter baskets. They had like Peeps and Bubbles and all the things. So it was wild, but it was awesome. And it was a super great event. And Hudson made sure to tell Mallory that we will be back next year.
Yeah. Big kudos to Mallory and the team over there at the Salvation Army for being able to pivot. You know, it would have been so easy just to say, look, this rain is too much. We can't do this thing. And I think it shows the fact that they had 400 people show up and they had 11,000 eggs out there for people to hunt for. I mean, that was amazing. So, great job, guys. Thanks for all you guys do for the community. You do all kinds of events for us. And I know you're going to have a lot of them coming out. We'll be sure to talk about them, especially as we get into summertime. Salvation Army will be doing a lot of like day camp kind of stuff. So we'll be doing that. Tina just chimed in here. I'll go ahead and show this comment here and talked about them canceling the Oval Affair in Sand Springs on Saturday, which is true. That did happen. I did, however, find out that some of the vendors were moved into some of the local businesses in the area, and they were still encouraging people to come out. So hopefully, if you went out to the Oval Affair, then you weren't too disappointed if you went and took the time to go visit one of the other businesses there. But kind of on that same note, we've actually got not an Oval Affair event, but we've got a big event coming up on Saturday.
Yes, this Saturday is our citywide dump day.
Dump day!
Where you can go and fill your truck full of things, not your U-Haul, but your pickup truck. You can fill it full and head down to the city dump and dump those things off. You do have to pick up a voucher. You can get those at City Hall. That way we know how many dumpsters. Dumpsters will be delivered at the end of this week, and then we will be celebrating and partying and collecting all your trash on Saturday.
Celebrated the dump.
So,
do you? Is there a deadline to pick up the voucher? Do you know?
Friday at 11:30 when we close.
Okay. All right. I mean, that is right at the last second. I don't have my voucher yet. I just realized that. I have the brochure and the water bill or whatever that we got. That is my reminder to go get that voucher. I think I had it in mind that was my voucher. So it's not. Definitely have to go get that voucher. And I got some stuff I got to dump. So I'm not missing this dump day.
Right. Just remember, if you take, you can't take paint, no TVs and things like that. If you do take brush, if you have cleaned up your backyard and you have tree limbs and things like that, they do need to be separate. Because they will have a specific area that they will go in, and that's so that we can mulch all those things. And then if you bring a mattress or box spring, those will need to be unloaded in a separate area as well. If you are someone that has a lot of junk and you don't have a truck, or you are unable to load said truck and get that to the dump day, you can call the Elks Lodge. They will be out and about helping those in need.
Yep. And we have mentioned this before, but do you want to go ahead and tell them about the tires situation?
Yes, so we had made a partnership. We had received a grant to accept tires for the dump day, and so we had made that announcement that you could bring tires. And unfortunately, our dates did not line up with them, and so they actually needed to do it earlier in April than what our dump day was. And so that grant has been revoked from the city of Sapulpa, and we will not be accepting tires this year.
Yeah, really sorry, guys. We know how many of you guys just love to get rid of your tires.
So I will say we are working on it to hopefully have, maybe like a just tire day. And so we have reached out to DEQ and this other entity that had actually given us the grant to see if we could coordinate a separate date. So that is not finalized, but I will let you know that from the city side, we are working on it. I know that we put that information out there, and now we're having to take it back. So know that we are working very hard to try to do something.
Good. Well, thanks for doing that. Personally, I am not sure how people end up with tires in the first place. Every time I get my tires changed on my car, they keep the old ones.
Right, but you pay for it.
Oh, okay. So I get, do you know how much, I guess it varies between.
I don't know. My dad owned a tire shop, used cars. So that's the only reason I know. Whenever he had a salvage, my entirety of growing up, he always had to pay somebody to come take the tires. And so he actually turned that into a second business where he did used tires and things like that. And so, and then once a month we would have somebody come in and we would pay them to take.
And then what do you do with them? Do you know? What do you, the old tires and stuff, do you resell them or?
Well, some of them are like still usable. Like some people get brand new tires and they get in a car wreck. And so dad would be able to resell those tires to people and put them on their cars. But there were times where we had tires that were completely shredded, could not be used. And so they would come once a month and we would sell the tires that were unusable to an entity. There was somebody that came and picked up tires that were to get rid of them.
Are they making like that playground material out of them or something?
And that's possible. I just know that they bought the tires that were unusable.
Okay.
So
cool.
And so dad would charge if he changed somebody's tires, and those tires can be used. It was either you could take them or you could pay. Okay. And I don't remember what the fee was.
Okay, so this is for all the folks that decided not to pay. They decided to take them.
Yeah.
And hopefully there'll be an opportunity. Man, so a few years ago, this is a side trip here, but we happened to be in Bristol when that tire plant that they have over there, tire whatever it is, caught on fire. And it was purely a luck thing. I mean, Sapulpa Times was able to get there before any other news station. We were there having lunch at the Anchor Burger or something, that restaurant over there. And this tire shop erupted into flames just down the street. The smoke was billowing. It's a huge complex. There were semi-trailers and stuff out there full of tires. And so it was a big ordeal. But any of you guys who have ever set a tire on fire, whether on purpose or accidentally, they burn for a long time.
And they smell horrible.
Yes. So did that ever happen at your dad's place?
No. So there was times where like behind his shop there was like fires and things, and so one of the first things we would do is he would call his guys and have them move all the tires and make sure that we didn't run into that, because
the tires.
They burn and they steam.
They last forever. That fire will burn.
Yes.
And it's one of those things, like, I guess it takes copious amounts of water, but it takes a lot more not like a house fire. I mean, it takes a lot longer to put out, I think. I'm guessing. It seemed like it did anyway. Yeah. So you guys hang on to your tires. Hope is coming. Don't set them on fire.
Yeah, don't. And we are working on
it. Speaking of, I can't think of a good transition to this. So Free Coffee Friday this week, talking about the city and stuff happening. So the city is putting themselves out there. They're actually going to be sponsoring the Free Coffee Friday coming up on Friday, right?
Yes. And so on Friday, you can come down to CTX from 7:30 to 10:30. Or is it?
9:30.
9:30.
Yeah.
Don't let me get lying. Okay, 7:30 to 9:30, you can join us at CTX. We will be paying for coffee. It's the normal, like $3 off anything or free drip coffee. We will be there. You will see us. We will have bright blue vest on with our logo on the back. And if we're not wearing a vest, then we will have a bright, flashy shirt on. So you will be able to tell who we are. You will know we're there. So bring all your questions and all that down to CTX on this Friday. And we would love to chat with you and hear what you have to say.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity to do that. I generally discourage people from getting in the faces of city folks or chamber folks at Free Coffee Friday, because it seems to happen quite a bit. I try and say, hey, that's a friendly event. Let's try and keep it friendly. It's not the time to bring your complaints. But the city is specifically setting themselves up there so that you can come with your questions and stuff. And you want to ask about the projects that are going on right now, or about downtown streetscape, or upcoming, like the Route 66 Park or a BTW building or something. So much happening right now. And is going to be happening. This is a great time to come do that. So if you've never been to a Free Coffee Friday before and you don't know how it works, it's 7:30 to 9:30, CTS Coffee, 114 East Dewey. Come down and get yourself a free drip coffee sponsored this week by the city of Sapulpa, or $3 off basically anything else in the shop. And it's a great time to hang out, meet the city, hang out with other people. There's a lot of people that come. We average about 50 people a week on the low end. So generally it's more than that. But even during all the construction, people are still making it a point to come out to that. Yeah. It's really great.
Which we encourage that. While we're still on city news, we will go ahead and let you know. Some flyers have been handed out. I'll be working on the rest of that today to let everyone know. We want to go ahead and let you know now. On Wednesday evening at 5:30, the water in the downtown area, so from Main to Walnut and from Lee to Hobson, all water will be turned off at 5:30 p.m. and it will be off up to 8 hours. They are going to come in, and I think they're changing a valve and a couple other things in the downtown area. So we learned on, that was Wednesday last week, that we had a mainline break. We had to go out 5 blocks to turn off the pressure because the pressure that was in the downtown line was so much that it was exploding like 30 feet in the air.
Some of you guys saw that video. That was a pretty popular video we put out there.
It was. And so what they're doing is working on changing that out. And so the water will be turned off for 8 hours. If there's anything we can do, if you have any questions, reach out to us at the city, and we will do what we can. So go out and support your businesses that you would have had dinner at maybe, and have lunch there instead. Like I said, this is this Wednesday. So do not forget, this Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. there will be no water in the downtown district for 8 hours.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful that you guys are taking that into consideration, doing it on kind of a off-peak day. It's not like it's happening on Saturday or Friday night or something. So that's good. So anyway, you guys don't forget, if you are without water for that amount of time, then you know why. So, all right, guys, that is going to end it. Do you have a joke today? I don't either. No. So we're going to be jokeless on this Monday, I'm afraid. I'll try and bring one on Wednesday, though. Should be a good time. Okay. So, all right, guys, we will see you guys on Wednesday, where we talk about all things happening in the town that we love. Have a great Monday, and we'll see you guys in a couple days.
Bye.
Bye-bye.